We call him Paul
How y'all
Attitude.
doing? I'm Paul Ryan, your host of the Across the Cowboys podcast. If you're new to the show, thank you for joining us. And to our regular listeners, welcome back. With me, as always, is my co-host, the greatest co-host in the world, Mike the Pig Crum. Mike, how are you?
Are you okay, Paul? I'm doing
I'm
all
good. I
right.
just
Cowboys
tired of waiting on
won.
y'all, man.
Cowboys
Tired of
won.
waiting
Hope
on
you
y'all.
had a great season 2.
We're 18
Marvels
minutes
wasn't as
behind when the
bad as
show
I thought it was
starts.
going to be. I'm not
Yeah.
dying, hopefully, of low blood sugar. I'm doing all right, but I feel like we lost to the Eagles, and we got that Paul here. Did the Mavs lose?
No, you're not dying, but your mouth lives on forever, Mike.
It does talk
How
like.
are you, sir? I'm glad you're
I'm
feeling
good,
better. I'm
man.
glad you got a little pregame snack, and we want you at 100% always, Mike. The show is not the same without you.
I talk a lot and I ramble when I have low blood sugar, so it's like imagine how much Brenden basically would just leave. He would not be needed. I would just talk through the whole thing.
I highly doubt that, Mike. But Mike, before we get into our discussion time, where can we find you on Twitter, sir?
CD Piglet, guys, nice and easy.
Guys, I'm Paul Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at Paul_Ryan15. And just Mike, this is for you, Jordan Stock. I'm with you, Paul. Tired of waiting. Appreciate you, Jordan. Guys, joining Mike and I tonight is the best account manager in the world, Mr. Brenden Fergie Smith. Brenden, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's always fun talking to y'all before the show.
Is it?
I'm gonna die on air, and then everybody's gonna be sad because I didn't have enough apples. I should have ate another apple, and we could have waited. But everybody's so impatient that now I'm gonna die on air, and it's gonna be everybody.
You could have eaten 3 apples with all that rambling, Mike. You ate 1, and that was at least 10 minutes ago.
True, that's fair.
Anyway, guys, I know we want to start off on a positive note, and tonight's conversation should be a little bit more enjoyable than last week's. After a dominating 49-17 Dallas Cowboys victory over the New York Giants, all is right in Cowboys Nation. And like I said, I'm excited for tonight's discussion. But before we talk any football, we must discuss one thing and one thing only. Of course, I'm referring to my personal favorite segment, Meatless Monday. Mike, other than the apple, what was on the menu today?
I actually haven't had dinner yet. I'm going to have a the Impossible Burger patties. I'm going to make a burger with that, which you guys have known. I've had 100 times on here, our regulars. But I'm going to have it with, instead of like potatoes or fries, I have some kohlrabi that's actually a really expensive root vegetable that I got really cheap. It was, they were going to go bad, so they were selling them cheap. And I'm like, give them to me. And I'm going to roast them. And instead of like fries or like oven roasted potatoes, I'm going to have roasted kohlrabi with Parmesan.
No, so what's the texture of that like? I've never heard of that vegetable.
It's like parsnips or really any root vegetable. Basically, they have different mild flavor profiles, little changes, but like jicama, parsnip, potato, anything like that you would, take a peel off of, chop up and roast. It's all the same. And then it's how you flavor it.
I got you. Sounds good. I still to this day have never had an Impossible Burger. I hear so many horror stories about those, man. Like a lot of them are just seed oils. And I heard like the Burger King Impossible Whopper, like the ingredient list was comparable to dog food. So I don't know.
Sure.
I'm worried about trying an Impossible patty.
Sir, first of all, you're getting fast food. Don't get a regular burger at fast food.
I mean, I don't eat Burger King anyway. I'm just saying, I was using that as comparison as to why I've kind of not been willing to try one.
The Laura one, the Laura Dean or whatever, that's the only one that I get for when I'm, making them. I buy that one and it's good. It has the flavor of a burger because you put it on a bun and it has ketchup, mustard, cheese, whatever you put on it. But the texture is like meatloaf. So it's like a meatloaf sandwich that you flavor like a burger. But if you put like meatloaf sauce on it and had it like with potatoes, it would be like a meatloaf. So they're good. Would you rather have an 80-20, burger and everything? Sure. But if you're doing Meatless Mondays and you want a burger, it's not bad. I like it. And you guys know how bougie I am with food.
Right. I would imagine an Impossible Burger can't be worse than a soy patty, which is, my God, awful.
I will not use soy bacon. I don't use turkey bacon either, but soy bacon and no.
Nothing's worse though. Is like when you order a burger and then you take a bite. It's like maybe you get like a junior version of a burger and it's a soy patty, and you're like, "What the fuck? Am I in elementary school again?" Like, it's terrible.
Yeah, I refuse to have those. No, thank you.
I can see Brenden is probably feeling how I'm feeling towards you guys pre-roll. So let's go ahead and talk some football. Brenden, we'll start off with you. Does this game move the needle at all for you?
It does. It doesn't because it's the Giants. Like, let's put that out there. But like beating them that doesn't move the needle for me. Because if we didn't, this show would be so different. Oh, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Even if it was like a close win, like we had against the Chargers, we'd having such a different conversation right now. But it does in the sense of the coaching staff, how they did. We'll talk more about that later. But like they did so well on offense, man. That was some of the best I've ever seen. I didn't go watch most of the first half. So I went back and tried watching as much film as I could. But from what I at least saw in the second half, for sure, live, dude, they're moving.
Well, Mike, not Mike, but Brenden, it sounds like Dak wasn't the only one throwing dots in that first quarter. I think you were as well, right?
Oh, of course. Peak quarterback right here.
I wish you could have had some highlights of your game yesterday. Mike, what about you, man? Did this game at all move the needle for you?
As far as Dallas winning a game, no. I like what they did in the game. So, like, looking at it and going, their use of motion, stuff like that, getting different people involved. But as far as overall, not really.
It was just nice that they used this game as a way to get some things figured out. It was a get-right game. We talked about that, a little bit before the game. So it was nice to see that happen. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well. But I'm with you guys. I liked what I saw. It just, when it comes against a team like the Giants, man, it really doesn't mean that much. It'd feel a lot better if we had won the Phillies game and then came out and still did that against this team. That feel really cool. But it is what it is, man. Still a big victory nonetheless. Mike, there were 7 touchdowns scored yesterday. Did you have a favorite?
My favorite was the Dak run because of what it symbolizes. It basically has been the turnaround of this offense. It's been not the inclusion of motion and more deep shots is very, very important. But even before that, in the Chargers game, the key was him moving around, and so that for me was my favorite because it symbolized like, okay, they're playing man. They're not paying attention to me. I'm not going to try to force it or anything. I can see it. I'm going to make a play with my legs. And he runs it right in the end zone untouched. So, that was my favorite.
How funny is it that the first game after we had that interview with Joey from the Filthy Fantasy Football podcast, and he was like, man, I used to love Dak in fantasy. Used to think he was a top-tier quarterback, but after he stopped using his legs, it's like, man, I don't want him on fantasy. I'm like, he's a tier below. And then immediately he starts using his leg, and we see what that's done for the offense. And it's nice to see him feeling confident to do that. I wonder what changed.
Mentally, you got to get over those injuries. And sometimes, we've seen Gallup still hasn't fully, so it takes a while to and then to come back and get injured in the, to hurt your calf in the New England game. The year you come back, it's just mental. It probably took a while before he was like, all right, I got to do it.
Ironically, it's like this offensive line is so bad that he really has no other choice than to, be mobile again. So it's kind of weird how that's worked out in our favor.
Yeah, especially against the NFC East defensive lines.
Exactly. Brenden, I know outside of Fergie, what was your favorite touchdown of the day?
I'm about to say I can't show bias. Mine's going to be Michael Gallup. It's going to be Michael. Yeah. That was vintage. Well, first off, a dot by Dak Prescott. My God. But that's vintage Gallup, though. Guess what? That's what you should be using for it. Since he's not healthy, use him as your deep threat. That's what he not his deep threat, but your 50-50 balls. That's what he is. He had only 2 catches game, but he still had 70 yards. That's what he is. Not 10 targets for trying to go for like 40 yards. That's what was ended up happening. That's what he is. Dude, that play was just reminding me of 2019. I'm like, I like where this is going. I like this. And it shows also, hopefully, it's a confidence booster.
I really like this pass from Cooper Kupp. Like when he just went up and got it, I'm like, yeah, that's the Gallup that we've needed for a while. So it was nice to see him kind of going back to what he's good at. Prescott had a comment about the Dak using his legs here, and it was the same frame game. He and the staff realized that a lot of plays could have been made in the game if he had extended them with his legs. I definitely agree with that. How about you guys?
Oh, 100. The linebackers take off in the Niner game. They don't spy them. They don't do anything. They take off to areas because they know where they want to throw the ball in those things. And that's the key. You go, oh, yeah, you can shut down that offense if you have the people to do that. But then Dak should just be running up the middle for 8 yards every play if they're going to do that. So, yeah, that's a big, big deal.
Absolutely. Yeah. Brenden, who needed this game more? Was it the defense, the coaching staff, or Brandin Cooks?
I would say Brandin Cooks because since he's doubled his production in one game, but he's a vet. Like he's been there before. He's dominated games. It's got to be Mike McCarthy and the offensive coaching staff. To be honest, they cooked. I think they're letting Dak do his thing, which is mildly helping. But you seeing your scheme working, you're seeing how your players are actually improvising, working towards their strengths, and you're like, oh, this works. We had so much fun on offense. We allowed CeeDee Lamb to get 2 more balls to have the new record. Like, we were just having fun out there. That's what they've been needing to do. We don't need, we're going to get the run game going. If it's not working, damn. Like, you got CeeDee Lamb, you have Brandin Cooks. Jalen Tolbert played well. Michael Gallup, like I said, 2 receptions, 70 yards and a touchdown. I'll take it. Fergie had a score. Like, everybody played their ass off on offense, and it was beautiful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mike, what about you? Who do you think needed this type of game more?
Brenden nailed it. You can move. That's he said exactly what I would have said. That was perfect.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with Brenden. Good breakdown there. Mike, I'm curious. Most important player performance from this game, was it Cooks, Terrence Steele, Michael Gallup, or Rico Dowdle?
I think it's Steele because I think that's kind of the key. If Biotish is our weakest spot on the line, we're going to be tough to stop, And so if he can play like that and hold Thibodeau, without a sack, you're going to have a good chance. That's kind of the key when you get into the game with Philly and the San Francisco 49ers. How that offensive line holds up to 4-man pressures is going to be the key to the game. So, I love the Dowdle and the Gallup, but I'm going Steele.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about CD, and he continues to dominate these last 3 weeks. As of week 10, Mike, power rank Lamb at the wide receiver position.
I'm gonna put him tier 1, and I am one that has never done that yet. I've never put him in tier 1, but right now, there's no way you can't say he's not playing the best wide receiver in football. There's a difference between being the best and playing the best. Over the last 3 games, he's done something that no other wide receiver's done in history. And one of the games against the Rams, who's been good. You could say Philly secondary, Giants secondary, but the Rams have done a good job against receivers this year. And so have Giants, really. But Philly's the only one that's kind of a down secondary. But he did something nobody else in NFL history did. 10 catches, 150 yards. So he's playing the best. He's in tier 1. I would still have Tyreek Hill ahead of him. And I would, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase dealing with injuries or their quarterbacks being hurt, respectively, dealing with that. I would put them in tier 1. Lamb is probably ahead of them currently because of that. I would probably put them ahead of him. If it was normal, I would have Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. And then I think him and A.J. Brown are both in that right there in that top tier. So he's in the top 5, definitely behind Hill, probably behind Jefferson. And then if you want to put him 3 to 5 with Chase and A.J. Brown, anywhere in there, I wouldn't argue with you.
Oh, man. We got a first-timer here. Mike, you'll appreciate this. It's Quiet Bro Crum, Hill, A.J. Brown, and Lamb.
See, me and Mitchell are on the same page. That's about the same as I said. Now, I'd put Justin Jefferson, but I think right now with Jefferson being hurt, yeah, Diggs does belong in there. I would have Lamb above Diggs right now, though. I personally, I think he's playing better.
Brenden, how about you?
I'm right in the same lines of Mike, but like I had a conversation with my dad about this actually earlier today. The thing I hate about just like talking about people end up in, of course, categories in sports, it's all depending on scheme. Talent wise, Lamb is easily top 3, but it's been as they use some games we've seen CeeDee Lamb's not used at all. He complained, and now we're seeing what's happening. But like it's all depending on how they're used. I think he's easily 3 or 4 right now. But if you're talking about you're talking about his talent, what he's been doing. Oh, it's number 1 right now. Hill had a great start to the season. He's slowing down a little bit. But right now, if we're talking about this in the season, it's got to be Lamb number 1. It's going to change. It's what Stephen A. Smith always says. It's a fluid motion right here. Like we have no idea. But right now, Lamb's top of his game. It's insane.
Yeah. This is how I ranked him. I know he's been out for a little while, but still, Justin Jefferson, he's my top guy. Number 2, Tyreek Hill. Number 3, Jamar Chase. Number 4, Mike Evans. Man, he's balling out despite everything that's going on in Tampa Bay. Number 5, AJ Brown. Number 6, Keenan Allen. He continues to tear it up. And then number 7, I have Mr. CeeDee Lamb.
I have Lamb above Allen and Evans, but I get that. I understand. They just produce, no matter what's happening. They're production machines.
Yeah, and it's funny that we were talking about this tonight because Prescott did mention this yesterday about, he was asking me, saying that he's not certain that Lamb isn't the best receiver in the NFL right now, which is, I don't want to say a bold statement, but an argument can be made for both sides of that.
I would say he's playing the best over the last 3 weeks. That would be – it went – A.J. Brown was playing the best. Hill was playing the best. Then A.J. Brown was playing the best. And now Lamb's playing the best. I wouldn't say that means they are the best, but they're currently playing the best the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, Jordan, Garrett Wilson is having a solid season as well, despite his quarterback play. I mean, this quarterback can barely throw the football most days. So, yeah, he deserves a little bit of recognition as well. The Jets are an interesting team for sure, but, have a lot of work to do on offense. Brenden, you look at the Dak and Lamb combination. Where do you rank them amongst the quarterback wide receiver duos in the NFL?
Okay, well, first off, Mahomes and Kelsey, because they're tied to the hip. That's one. Yeah. I wanted to say, like, oh, Dak's there. Gotta calm down. They've been playing lights out. And but Burrow's been off, their connection, their college buddies. I think right up there, that play that Dak was getting hit and he just threw the ball just knowing CeeDee Lamb was coming back against the Giants.
Crazy.
Holy hell. How do you just hey, he's there. It's not like chucking the ball downfield. You just know your receiver is going to be there. I gotta say there are 2 or 3, maybe Tua and Tyreek because they were balled out earlier. Dude, Dak and Lamb, I think Dak can throw with his eyes closed and he just knows Lamb's gonna be there. It's so much fun to watch.
It's weird. It's like we're seeing this stretch now where Dak finally, I think, has no questions about CeeDee Lamb if he's going to make the play. He's just like he's finally gained his full trust, and it's a magical thing to see. But Mike, what about you? Where do you have Dak and Lamb among the quarterback wide receiver duos in the NFL?
I would put Mahomes, if we're counting Kelsey wide receiver, Mahomes Kelsey is clearly one. For this season, I got to give Hurts AJ Brown. AJ Brown's been an MVP candidate this year. That guy's been crazy. Tua and Hill, of course. And then I think Dak and Lamb's got to be right in there this year because Cousins, Jefferson have had injuries and Jamar Chase Burrow have dealt with injuries. So, yeah, I'd say 4th, definitely in the top 4. You guys can argue where, but they're I would probably have them 4th right now, but moving up the list quickly.
Yeah, for me, I have Mahomes, Kelsey, number 1. Number 2, Tua, Tyreek. Number 3, Jamar and Burrow. Number 4, Cousins, Jefferson. Of course, that they've been injured, but we've seen what they can do, and they were having a good start to the year anyway. And number 5, it's tied for me at Hurts, Brown, and Dak and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. That's the list as long as you're turning injuries off or you're talking about the last 17 full games. That's the list. Right. The only reason those other 2 aren't mentioned by Brenden and I is because they've had a combination of injuries between the quarterback and wide receiver.
Very fair, very fair. Oh yeah, good point here by Prescott. Don't forget Stafford and Cooper Kupp. Yeah, they probably missed a few more games, but I don't know. It seemed like Stafford and Puka Nacua had a bit more of a connection this year than Kupp and Stafford, only because Cooper Kupp had missed a few games. But yeah,
that's another tier one combo that has injury. Also, Allen Diggs got to be up there. Allen is a turnover machine, but when he throws it, he basically throws it to Diggs.
Yeah, true. Mike, is this the best stretch of games we've seen from Dak since his injury in 2021 versus the Patriots?
Yeah, see, at first I was thinking, I put in there, it's close with the 2021 start until he got injured at New England. And then Brenden let us know, hey, after that, well, then it's clearly, I mean, there was the time when the defense was like shitballs, but that was pre-injury. And then when he came back, he had the stretch until the New England injury. And now I feel like he's fully healthy. He understands the offense. He's got his number 1 and 2 wide receivers and a running back he trusts to block, and Jake Ferguson to make plays. So I feel like he's comfortable right now, and he's moving well enough to where the offensive line doesn't scare him. So for all those reasons, I got to say yes.
Brenden, how about you? This is your question.
Well, first off, if you didn't talk about Ferguson just a little bit there, me and Mike would have a talk after the podcast. But
security blanket.
Oh, but are you kidding me? This offense runs through Dak. It's just like, oh man, the schemes are going well. They're doing screen passes, getting all these. No, you put any not any quarterback, but you put most other quarterbacks in this scheme. Oh hell no. This offense isn't doing anything. The offensive line bullies. They get scared, get sacked. Run game's not doing anything. Dak's been balling out of his mind. Turnover machine. Sure, buddy. We're going to talk about Allen throw like 2 or 3 tonight and still playing. Dude, this has been the best Dak I've ever seen. I've never been this confident. I've never seen him this confident. Bro, he had his tongue out. He's running around hugging McCarthy. He knows what he's doing. And he's having fun doing it. And I'm kind of scared to see him fully motivated once we get towards playoff time, if he continues like this.
It blows my mind that the interception thing is not a stop it, Mitchell. Stop. It blows my mind that damn it, Mitchell, you threw me off now. I had something, and now the interception thing is just not a topic anymore. Nobody, you don't hear like the end of the world. Oh, it don't matter winning, this, that, the other stats. It don't matter. Look at his turnovers. Like that's why you don't hear it anymore when it's Hurts and Jonathan Allen as the top guys.
Yeah,
nothing. Dude, on Shannon Sharp's podcast, they were talking about it, and the only thing he brought up was Dak's interception. The only thing he brought up was Dak's interception. But also, like, while we're talking about this, hey, who leads the league in yards? What corner is getting up the most yards? Do y'all know? I don't.
Yeah, because it was only a thing that 1 year when you were trying to discredit the all-pro corner.
I have no idea.
That's crazy, man. These people make a living pointing out, just talking anything about the Cowboys, and it's always negative, but when it's positive, man, you don't hear a peep. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Brenden, Dak MVP, is that talk too early? Are we getting ahead of ourselves?
With this stretch, no, because this team doesn't run without him. It's most valuable player. Of course, wins do matter. Like if the team's undefeated it's like the Chiefs are undefeated. Mahomes is playing out of his mind. Then Mahomes is the clear favorite. Dak's not here. You want to see this offense led by Cooper Rush? Do you want to see what their scheme is? No, you don't. Steele would have gave up 8 sacks at least if it was Cooper Rush back there. But no, that's just me. I think Dak's been on a tear, and if he continues it, there's no way he's not in consideration.
Mike, what about you?
A little early for me. Beat Carolina, beat Seattle, or Commanders, beat Seattle, beat the Eagles. You win those 4 games, and you will be headed into Buffalo as part of the MVP conversation. But I'm going to need to see him, beat the Eagles and beat the Commanders. Honestly, and Seattle. Like those are three. Commanders have played everybody tough. They're in almost every game. They're a tough team. Seattle is a division leader, I think. Maybe they're tied with San Francisco, but they're up in that rank. And Philly, obviously, best team, but you got those two at home. So I got to see him go through those and play up to this level, and then he's clearly in the conversation.
I think that should be mentioned, but until, of course, all wins are in the quarterback stat, obviously, but until he beats a Buffalo and Miami, then I think that's when you can say, okay, he's earned the right to be for real, be in this conversation, not just by Cowboys fans, but by everybody.
Of course, Mike says Seattle.
I need him to get some signature wins. That's all.
I think it's more saying you need a signature win. Like, look, Dak played like this when I was in Disney. I think that's what we're
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yep.
I'm sure a lot of Cowboys Nations has that game circled on their calendar, really just hoping that we can break the curse. We already broke the curse, but were you in Universal last year? Or were you actually in Disney that time?
I was in the year that we broke it where we survived the Texans game somehow. I was at Disneyland, and I thought that broke the curse. This last time we lost, the Cardinals, I was at Universal. So my hope is that Disneyland curse is broken and we beat Seattle. And if it is, then it's a Universal curse. And I don't go to Universal often, so it won't be as bad.
I got you.
He's gonna petition this, get Mike to not go to any, parks during the season.
It will not happen.
Go on Saturdays. Nothing happens on Saturdays.
We could get Dak Prescott's signature, and he would still go to Disneyland.
That's so true.
I'm serious.
That's so true.
We all know that the MVP is a quarterback award, but Mike, which 5 quarterbacks are your MVP candidates after Week 10?
Stroud, Hurts, LJ, Patty, and Tua. Purdy, Tua, and Dak are in that same category. You could put anyone you want. I put Tua ahead.
Yeah.
Any of those 3 could be at 5, though.
Brenden, how about you?
I swear, I know Mike and I have been talking for a while, but dude, what is going on? That's basically my list, but I switched Tua with Dak. Hurts has to be. I don't like talking good about Philly. I never will, but they're 8-1. Come on, that's phenomenal. Mahomes is Mahomes. I take Tyreek Hill away from Tua. Tua's not doing anything. That's why I took him out.
Tua needs another signature win. He's lost the games against the big teams, same as Dak. That's why I have them at the end. Purdy's team's so good that it's going to knock him down. And I know people go, well, Hurts' team's really good. Yeah, but they're 8-1. They're not 5-3. It's different. And that's why the last 3 are interchangeable. Purdy, Dak, and Tua, that 5th spot is you could put anyone you want. I wouldn't argue.
If you didn't base it off records, man, Sam Howell would have to be in the conversation, dude, as MVP. Because my God, without Sam Howell, I don't know what that Washington offense would look like or that team would look like. I mean, what he's doing is with that atrocious defense is impressive.
Yeah, he's keeping them in games.
For sure. So my top 5 QB MVP candidates are C.J. Stroud, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, number 4, our guy Dak Prescott, and then number 5 I had Tua.
No Hurts or Jackson.
I thought about Lamar Jackson, but they were. You look at this last stretch of games. They lost yesterday, and I think he's gone like 3 games with maybe 2 total touchdowns. It's been a lot of his defense, so that kind of put him down a little bit on the rankings. And I look at the Eagles with how good their team is. I mean, Hurts probably should be in there, but I do wonder if another quarterback could do what he's doing with that team.
Well, we all know.
I love Hurts.
We all know that I'm the Hurts guy and you're the Hurts hater. So
yeah. You finally came to the dark side after 3 years?
I still he has a team that really is set up for him to be successful. And at the pro level, great. That's what you need to do. But I still am like, man, if Philly has to like lose a few things on offense, I would be worried about if he could handle it from there. Like, I don't think he could go in with the last year's Dallas with Noah Brown, wide receiver 2, and the offensive line the way it was, and Ezekiel Elliott running for 3.5 yards a carry, 12 touchdowns missed before you yell at me. He killed. But I don't know if he could go in with those weapons around him and be the all-pro he was. I think that's very offensive line driven. But he does what he does really well in his system, and that's a credit. Like, he's a all-pro in that, and you can't take that away from him.
That 2021 squad that he took to the playoffs as the wild card, his first year as a starter, that was a pretty bad team.
Yeah, it was, but I don't know if it was like he took it, to he kind of was why they got eliminated. He was pretty awful in that game.
That's fair.
He was, how people do that to Dak, like, oh yeah, he's played this and that. That's the same thing. Like, you could say, like, yeah, he played like shit, that's why they lost. Now he just got beat by a better team is what really happened. But it's kind of like saying Daniel Jones made it. Look what Daniel Jones did with the Giants last year. They won a playoff game and everything, and it's like, at that time. Now Hurts has made a big leap that Daniel Jones didn't. Don't get me wrong. Right. Hurts made an enormous leap. That guy is, since his leg injuries, played the best he has all year when he was stuck in the pocket. So that tells you a lot about how he's grown as a passer.
Hurts, man, he makes some jaw-dropping throws himself.
He does.
All right, Brenden, which non-5 QBs are in your MVP candidates?
It's so hard because, like you said about when we talk about quarterbacks, it's a quarterback-driven award, so it's hard to think about. But you got to think you just got to go off of teams that are doing well. You won't do any. The Browns won't do jack squat again without Myles Garrett. He's just a massive human being. Danielle Hunter has 11 sacks on the year. Are you kidding me? Vikings are doing jack squat, and he has 11 sacks. He's gonna have like
5 straight though.
He's gonna have like a Jared Allen type year, honestly. You gotta go Tyreek because I don't think Tua is a fine quarterback. I want to throw a go ball to a player I just nose down. If I had an NFL arm, I want to be able to throw downfield like that. I go there. I think offensively, I know Shanahan's scheme is phenomenal. But I want to go McCaffrey. Of course, he's been injured throughout the year, but his 16 straight games with a touchdown or whatever he had. 17. Holy hell, 17. Yeah. Oh shoot! That's insane. And I gotta go with another one, just because he's always missed when he's on. Trent Williams. That is the behemoth of a human being. And of course, offensive linemen will never win MVP. But if we're just talking about players who are missed desperately when they're out, it's Trent Williams. He can throw everybody. I am happy he's off of Washington.
For sure. Mike, how about you?
We're pretty similar. I have Garrett. I have Hill. I have CMC. I have AJ Brown. And then either Hunter or TJ Watt was my last two because they're kind of playing on teams that shouldn't win, and they're their team's best players and are winning games that you're like, how the hell is this team winning? So, yeah, we're similar. I didn't hate on the Eagles. I put AJ Brown in there. He's been ridiculous.
None of them deserve awards.
For me, I have Myles Garrett, number 1. Number 2, TJ Watt. Number 3, Danielle Hunter. Number 4, Tyreek Hill. And number 5, I'm not sure how y'all are going to feel about this one. A bit of a wild card, but, man, Devin Witherspoon, the cornerback for the Seahawks, what he's doing for that defense and that team. Rookie.
Bro, you don't have McCaffrey?
I mean, I could have, but I feel like any running back you put in that system on that team would maybe not put up the same numbers, but still be effective. And I don't know. I'm kind of more impressed by what Brock Purdy's been able to do.
Mitchell is.
I guess just because I'm so used to what McCaffrey's been doing his entire career. I know he's been injured, but
Mitchell's
been a
about to
beast.
yell. If Mitchell's still watching, he's gonna yell.
We're gonna have a
Carolina
comment,
Panthers.
all caps.
He thinks that's you. The reason that they lost the 3 games is because McCaffrey was compromised. The minute he came off the bye week and was fresh, they killed again. That he thinks that's the team right there. Christian McCaffrey is the difference maker because he's as good as any great running back you want to do, but he's also can go out and be in the conversation of best receivers. And that's in one spot that you have to guard with Ayuk and Debo and Kittle. And it just makes them hard to deal with because he's so and Shanahan runs him into plays him and gives him 40 touches a game. He just kills him into the ground, beats him like a hammer. So, it's there he is. I knew that. He is Mr. McCaffrey.
Yeah, but they also didn't have Trent Williams or Debo Samuel, so you know what I mean? Those 3 games.
Yeah, that's all but that's kind of Mitchell's point is everybody else points at Debo and Trent Williams, and he's like, just let McCaffrey get healthy. That was a big key is he wasn't the same guy.
That's true. So it wouldn't be a Cowboys victory without Cowboys fans nitpicking at such a dominant performance. But, Mike, does it bother you or concern you that the Giants ended up scoring 17 points?
No, by that time you're playing the most vanilla because you don't want to give up any in a game that in plays that mean nothing. You don't want to give anybody anything to see. And then it was all your backups. So it's like it's not only vanilla, but you're just throwing your backups out there to play. So, no, I didn't. It was a nothing burger. If they wanted to, they could have shut that team out.
Yeah, for sure. Brenden, how about you?
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah. So going forward, Brenden, are you what worries you more, the defense or the offense?
Offense is clicking. The offense is clicking, and I'm loving it. Like I've said, it's the defense. The thing is, I've talked so many times on the show. Why can't you QB contain? That was Danny DeVito's little brother running out there, and you couldn't contain him. Are you kidding me? The one time I saw a good QB contain was Dante Fowler on the strip sack on Mac Jones. That's the only time this year we did it. He was running, and we got him. I know you want to put your pin your ears back and go, but dear God, if you know the quarterback can just move a little bit, you stop most of the offenses we play against. We would have stopped the Cardinals if why did I just completely blank on his name?
Dobbs.
The astronaut. Yeah, I know him as the astronaut, not Dobbs anymore. But you win easily. You stop Jalen Hurts from running, just getting the first downs. You win. Damone Clark should be doing that role. If you're not going to keep contained with the defensive ends, it's got to be Damone Clark. But also, Dan Quinn's got to stop playing soft coverages. It hurts me. 3rd and 3. I see Deron Bland 15 yards off the receiver. It's in the defense easily.
Absolutely, yeah. I would agree. The defense is more concerning than the offense. Like you said, the offense has been clicking the last couple of weeks. We still have a couple of questions about the defense, but hopefully this past performance was a get right for them as well. Mike, who was your player of the game?
My player of the game was Dak, of course.
Yeah, easy. Brenden, how about you?
The greatest thing, the funnest thing about this game was you can go multitude. Dak, Cooks, CeeDee Lamb cooked again, but it's got to be Dak. Like I said, I was talking about earlier, his confidence was just oozing off the screen when you're watching him. Every play, he's running around, laughing. Oh, dude, it's the most confident I've ever seen Dak. He doesn't look like he cares at all, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, my player of the game, I'm gonna cheat a little bit here. Actually, never mind. That's on the next one. But I'm going with Brandin Cooks, man. It's an easy to answer, but seeing what he can be in this offense and what he still has in the tank is exciting. So, Brandin Cooks is my player of the game.
I like it.
Brenden, player spotlight.
You know what? I this is a great win, and he did get hurt. It's Jordan Lewis. For the love of God, I know he got hurt. I hope nothing but the best. I hope they haven't talked about anything about him being really hurt, so I hope he comes back. But dear God, give effort. You're so lucky that was offensive pass interference as well, but you're getting destroyed and you're just holding on to people. Just give effort. I could run harder. You're not willing to cover anyone at all. It pains me to say Izzy should be out there. We saw what he did against Tampa in the playoffs. I want to see that more. It's so annoying to see flag of the play. Number 2 defense, and you're just like, damn it. Why are you here? He is on my XFL list right now.
Yes, sir. Mike, who's your player spotlight for the week?
Luke Schoonmaker, but I'm going to flip it and be positive with Luke. I know it's not what we want out of a second-round pick, but dude is a monster blocker. Like that touchdown CeeDee Lamb run, that play is because Luke Schoonmaker got out and blocked. I don't know if you ever want to throw him a pass right now because he just seems to drop everything, but you got Fergie for that. The way Luke blocks is a weapon on offense. It can be a weapon. And it sucks it was a second-round pick instead of like a fifth-round pick. Would you have rather flipped it and have Ferguson be Luke Schoonmaker's second round and fourth round for Luke Schoonmaker for what they do? Sure. But I want to give him the spotlight because, man, I know he's going to get killed. He's a second-round pick, which all our second-round picks get killed because they've had their issues with second-round picks. And they want the guy to be, a great player right away, and we want him to do better, and especially catching the ball. But man, he is a top blocking tight end. Like he really can block, and so I want to give him the credit on that Lamb reverse. The reason they scored is Luke Schoonmaker blocking. So I wish he was better. I'm not happy with him as a second-round pick, but let's give him credit for what he does well, and he blocks his ass off.
Brenden, how about you? Who's your player spotlight?
Sir?
I'm sorry. You said Jordan Lewis. My bad. Yeah,
no, I know. Wait, sorry. I just want to point this out. Mozzie Smith has been getting better every week. I was talking to see people talking about it on Twitter. I'm sorry, but when Mike was talking, I'm like, who's under the radar? Mozzie. He was everywhere.
He's going to be a problem with that. But when we get into year 3 of this, everybody's going to be talking about Will McClay did it again. Like, it just takes a while. It's very, very rare that Jalen Carter comes in his first year and just kills. There's a reason he was thought of the best player in the draft. I thought he would take a year. Jordan Davis did. Brown from the Panthers took 2 years. Quentin Williams took 2 years. Mozzie Smith's going to be one of those dudes. In year 3, he's going to be one of those dudes.
Yes, sir. So I'm sorry, Brenden, were you saying that Jordan Lewis, was he your player of the game and then player spotlight was Mozzie Smith?
I will never, ever put player of the game Jordan Lewis.
I was confused because I felt like I cut you off. I'm sorry. I got confused.
You're good. It's just I thought about extra because Mozzie deserves love for what he did against the Giants.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Loki. No, I'm just kidding.
So my spotlight, man, I'm going to cheat here, and I'm going to say Mike McCarthy. We're up 28-0 heading into halftime. What did we do? He could have taken his foot off the gas. He could have stopped being aggressive. He just goes out and scores 14 more points and just, really sticks it to the Giants. So I like Mike McCarthy. I like his playing with confidence, wanting to kind of set an example yesterday and let the guys have fun like Brenden was talking about earlier. This team's having fun. It was nice to see. So my spotlight's on Mike McCarthy.
Letting Lamb get the record when the game was over and Cooper Rush was in, letting him catch those 2 quick passes. Big time, dude. That's big time in the locker room.
Yes, sir. All right, Mike, here we are with your reviews from the sidelines. We got a little 2-parter here. Number 1, is it harder to evaluate the team after a game like the Giants or the 49ers?
Giants, because they're just not competitive. The 49er one, you can look at it and go, we got our ass kicked. What can we do? And we can do what they did. Hey, why don't we motion? Hey, Dak, why don't you use your legs? Hey, why don't we target CeeDee Lamb? After the Giants game, it's really nothing. You got guys the ball, but what are we going to say? Well, let's see him do it against Philly. So definitely the Niner game.
All right, number 2. What looks different with the offense since the San Francisco game?
Dak mobility, motion, targeting CeeDee Lamb. That's the 3 things.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Brenden, true or false? Tyron not practicing is what's best for the team.
Have we seen the masterclass he's put on for 2 weeks now? If this works, I know apparently Thursday practices are dangerous when it comes to Cowboys, which I have no idea what's going on at the Star. But dude, yeah, are you kidding me? He's locked down. It's so much fun to see that Tyron back.
Mike, how about you? True or false? Tyron not practicing is what's best for the team.
I'm gonna say false, but it's because I don't know if I want him not practicing at all. Like I want him limited, a lot limited, but I mean like none, like no practice, zero. That worries me.
How much practice do you think he needs at this point in his career?
Just maybe 1 day a week. I just want maybe a walkthrough. And
you don't even think he's doing a walkthrough?
Huh?
You don't even think he's doing a walkthrough?
No. I'm sure he is, but I didn't want people to think I was just saying, "Oh, just go out there and do one practice, you'll be good." Like he needs to do his walkthrough, and then he needs a practice. If he got that, even every other week, I'll be happy with that. I just don't know about no practice, so I'm gonna say false. At the question being very specific of like just no practice at all. Like, no, I need him to do a little bit.
Prescott had something to add to what's changed with the Cowboys offense. Passing on first down.
Big difference.
McCarthy's learning.
Prescott, man. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go with True, man. I mean, I was saying how much practice does Tyron really need at this point in his career? Probably not that much. I'd rather him just work out, stay healthy, and whatever just keeps him on the field. I mean, if he's going to get hurt, I'd rather it be in a game instead of on the practice field. You know what I mean?
It's fair.
Give me weight room, stretching, and walkthrough. That's all I want to see 77 doing.
Seriously. All right, Brenden, one word. Tony Pollard not scoring since week 1 has you feeling blank.
Worried. Like, you are talented. I know the goal line schemes aren't great because it's just run up the middle, put your body down and go, or put your shoulder down and go. But like, not one. You can't see the gap for a little bit. Come on. You were wanting to get paid. We franchise tagged you. This was supposed to be your breakout year without Zeke taking your reps. And you can't get me 1 since the Giants game. That's gross.
Mike?
Evolving. It has me evolving on my thoughts of paying injured players.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I seen it with Gallup, with Steele, with Pollard, with Lewis. It just you don't play the same that at least that first year for sure. And in Gallup's case, it's been multiple. It worries me about paying people like next year. It made me think about the like, what are we going to do at cornerback next year? Deron Bland is probably our corner 1 because Diggs is still going to be good, but he's not going to be the great elite corner we're used to. He's going to be a good corner. Deron Bland's better than good right now. He's the best corner in football right now. He takes the ball away, doesn't allow shit. Like look at his PFF grades, and we don't go by PFF, but when you could look on the field at what he does to people, you could look at his interceptions, and also the PFF grade is great. It tells you. So I'm starting to think like it might be a good idea to bring Gilmore back 1 more year. Like let Gilmore and Diggs be. Maybe Gilmore and Bland are your outside guys, and Diggs comes in to play outside while Deron Bland moves in on nickel downs where you need a third corner, I don't know. I'm just worried about Diggs that he's going to be great, but I'm worried about him coming back that first year. And that's the evolving that if like Tony Pollard is bad at that position, off an injury, that worries me.
Yeah, for me, Tony Pollard not scoring since week 1 has me feeling confused. I mean, we scored 7 touchdowns yesterday. Even Rico Dowdle got 1. And Tony Pollard hasn't scored 1 since week 1. Very, very confusing. I know our offensive line hasn't been great, but I don't know. It's just, is he like not giving his all to try to get paid next year. I mean, I guess that doesn't really make sense because nobody's going to want to pay him after seeing what's on film this year. So I don't know what's going on with Pollard, man. It doesn't really make sense.
He looks hesitant. There's been a couple of runs, and that's one thing he never was. That was one of the key differences, is that he was hitting holes like that. He hits the hole slower than Dowdle right now. He's hesitant. He's missing holes too. So, it's worrisome. This is actually a decent Monday night game for how poopy it is.
Yeah. All right, here we are. I'm sure you guys are. This is probably what you've been waiting for this entire episode for our top 5 segment tonight. Our top 5 segment tonight is animated characters. I can't wait to hear what you guys list as. Mine is going to be pretty boring, so you guys are going to be the stars of the show yet again here.
I want to bow out of
it. Really?
I do not. Why? Because y'all don't understand how I am with Disney, man. Look at my room. Like, it was so, I had to come up with like, okay, I'm not doing like Mickey Mouse and Goofy because I don't really watch a lot of TV shows and stuff, but like they're my top characters, but it's more about going to Disneyland and seeing them. So I'm leaving those out. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to do a female list because I was like, I could do a all Disney top 5 female. Like, I had to break down so many. I didn't do duos. I was like, I'm not going to do Beavis and Butthead. I'm not going to do Mike and Sully because they need to be. I have a massage chair. This chair is regularly priced is over $10,000. I got it for $6,000 on Black Friday. I love this chair. This is my massage chair. Yes, it's like Charles Xavier. But I hate this list. I don't like doing it. I love too many characters that I had to leave off. I'm not a fan. I can't walk.
Weird flex, but okay, Mike. It's like, I found this for $6, and you kissed it.
It's hard being rich,
love this.
Brenden.
My remote control goes here. The remote for this is a tablet. It's crazy.
All right, Mike, give us number 5 on your list.
Number 5, we're going with Doug from Up. I just met you and I love you. I love that dog. And it's also Mitchell in Mitchell's 5. He was like, how are you not going to have Doug? Because I was flipping between Doug and Bing Bong. The reason I wanted to put Bing Bong is I felt so bad because Bing Bong I thought was the villain of that movie. If you guys have seen Inside Out, I was like, you know what? This guy's mad because she's forgetting about her, and he's the one doing this. And then he ends up being like the one that saves like everything. I felt so bad and I cry. And so I wanted to add Bing Bong, but I mean, Doug, man, it's Doug. I just met you.
I don't know why I didn't even think about picking any from movies. I was so stupid.
I did not think about movies at all.
Oh, really? I think all my movies.
Well, my list definitely is going to suck even harder now. Brenden, what's number 5 on your list?
See, the problem is with these type of lists. First off, I do love these ideas for the top 5s, but it shows my age so much more than y'all. Because like I feel like 95, where I'm going to say, no, probably more like 60%, or what I'm going to say. Y'all aren't going to have any idea.
Do you want me to flip mine to just TV shows? Because I have 5 I can do, and I can just switch it up real quick.
No. I don't know.
My brain didn't go there. That's on us. But no, have y'all? Okay, this is more Mike. I feel like, did you ever watch the show Total Drama Island or Fairly Odd Parents at all, or no?
I know
heard of Fairly Odd Parents, but never know the other one.
I've never seen either, but I know what Fairly Odd Parents is.
Total Drama Island was a reality TV show on Cartoon Network. It was all animated characters. The really fat guy, Owen, I loved him because he made a lot of jokes. But I put Fairly Odd Parents on here as well because I didn't know if y'all would know. But I chose Cosmo because you're going to see really easily all my characters are idiots for the most part. And that's what makes me laugh. But yeah, Cosmo and Owen are both complete morons.
It's possible Mitchell knows what you're talking about. I do not.
They're great characters.
Yep. Brenden, were you a fan of the show Ed, Edd and Eddy?
I watched bits and pieces of it, but it was mainly on when I was super young.
Side note here, are either one of you familiar with Daniel Barry Sports Highlights?
I am not, but I will make myself familiar. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. How you doing, my friend?
Shout out to Daniel.
Are you here for the content about the chair?
Professor X over here. All right, number 5 on my list. I'm going with probably my favorite X-Men ever is Gambit.
I thought you were going to say Xavier. I thought he's going to go down that rabbit hole.
No, that'd have been great if that was on my list, but no, I'm going with Gambit.
Gambit's a great one, man. See, Mitchell knows. Cool. Mitchell knows your shows, Brenden.
All right. Well, me and Mitchell are friends now.
I don't understand why Gambit never made an appearance in any of the movies. You know,
he was in one of them.
He was.
Yeah, he was. Which one was it? It was.
I don't think I saw the last two, so that's probably why.
It was one of the ones that were mainly focused on Wolverine.
Okay. So maybe Logan.
No, not Logan.
It was X-Men, Wolverine, or X Last Stand. It was one of those. It might have been the one with Sabretooth. Well, I loved Sabretooth, by the way. He was the not the original. The original was terrible, but the Liev Schreiber one.
Yeah, he was good.
Awesome. Dude. Killed it.
All right, number 4 on my list. I'm going with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Mr. Michelangelo.
My favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle as well, the Pizza Eater.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brenden, number 4 on your list.
See, y'all aren't going to know this, but Muscle Man from Regular Show.
Mitch.
I've heard of the show. Don't know who that is.
Well, I haven't even heard of that show.
No, y'all have because y'all are on this. You were on the show and I brought it up. But he's just such a funny character. The show is so weird. He did so many random things, but his main thing was doing my mom jokes. Not your mom, but my mom. So, yeah.
I don't know it, but Mitchell, comment something.
Dr. Doom. Who is Dr. Doom? Is he from X-Men?
He's Fantastic.
No, Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. Okay. All right, Michael, who's number 4 on your list?
I don't remember. Oh, Roger Rabbit.
Oh, nice one.
Love Roger Rabbit. I apologize for doing movie ones. This was a very hard topic for me, so yeah.
I just can't believe I don't know why I didn't think about movies, man, because I would have had some Disney characters in mind for sure, no question about it.
Mine is all Disney characters. Come on. Look behind me. It's all Disney characters.
Very fitting for you, Mike. Okay, Mike, number 3 on your list.
Number 3, Robin Hood. The fox, if you don't know it's the one where they're the animals. Yeah. The really great one. I also like the Kevin Costner one, but the rest of them are kind of. But none of them touch the Robin. I think Robin Hood's the most underrated Disney movie of all time. It's 10 out of 10 for me. When he goes dressed up and goes to the archery thing and Maid Marian's hot. I don't know how that's possible. It's an animal, but Maid Marian's hot. I don't care. Maid Marian's hot. It's a hot animal.
So, Mike, for you, is it Robin Hood the Animated and Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yes, and the Robin Hood Kevin Costner one because Morgan Freeman is great. Christian Slater is great. Like that. Maid Marian is, and Alan Rickman is the sheriff is awesome.
Oh wow! Okay.
Those 3 are the 3 Robin Hoods that are but neither of them are on the tier of the Disney Robin Hood is way up here, and the other ones are oh yeah, they're good.
Gotcha. Brenden, number 3 on your list.
See, now we got to the part where y'all will know these, which is I feel like we can say no, it's Cartman.
Oh, of course. Oh. Yes, that's the one from I was gonna mess up. I was gonna joke and say Family Guy. No, I know South Park.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I want to quote, but you know what? I can't do that on air.
Well, you can quote for sure.
Prescott's got a question for you, Mike. Are the Kingdom Hearts games your favorite games of all time?
They're in my top 5, but Metal Gear would be higher. The Walking Dead Telltale series would be higher. And I think these 2 Spider-Man games, and if I would have played through all the God of Wars, but they're up there. They're in tier 1. I mean, look behind the Keyblade. I love Goofy. I love being able to go through the different levels. You know what? We're already at an hour. Don't even get me started.
Hey, next week we'll do our top 5 video games. I think we should just go ahead and mark that down. That'll be fun.
In.
Yeah.
That's going to be hard.
For sure. All right, number 3 on my list. I got to go with my guy, Mr. Stewie Griffin, Family Guy. I haven't watched Family Guy in a couple of years, but he can just put it on and it's always going to be funny. So, and Stewie sometimes carried that show. I mean, him and Peter their back and forth are legendary.
I just realized I don't want to do video games. Y'all know how long I played. Like, I'm trying to think right now. I do not. How the hell am I going to do a top 5 video games? I am Atari era starting. Like, none of them are in Atari, but there's like ones in Nintendo that, like, I don't know how I get them out of my top 5.
Oh, yeah, start crossing off your list now. Start making your list now, and then just going over it. Coming over it.
It's not possible.
I'm excited for that. No, I'm 20 years old. Oh, that's my shit right there.
It's not 20 years old. You only have like 8 games to choose from. I have like 60. I have like 60 tier 1, like Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Castlevania. We're talking like Nintendo era games that would be. Oh God!
Well, see, the main thing is, I could get one on Paul's list if he ever plays Halo with me, but that's a thing I've been pushing for a little while now.
Like Halo, man. Halo 2 is one of my favorite all-time games, and I can guarantee you it wouldn't touch my top 10. And it is all-time great. Like I love Halo.
No, Halo 3 by far top tier, best I've ever played.
Over 2 would get to be the. Arbiter, I love being what's the dude's name that you
Arbiter?
Who?
Arbiter.
The alien. The Arbiter is my favorite character in Halo.
All right, we'll get to that next week.
Okay. All right, number 2. I went the nostalgic route, of course. Homer Simpson.
Good choice.
No, that's such a good choice.
Forbidden Donut.
Yes, sir. Brenden, number 2 on your list.
See, my list is gonna end like it did last week for anime shows, but my number 2, the person that made my childhood, is Captain Rex. I loved him so much in the Clone Wars. Top tier. He shows that all clones are human and all that. And he does so much badass stuff. Dude, he's legit.
I wish I would have done a TV. It would have made it easier, and I would have had some guys from Bad Batch for sure in there.
They're too new. I'm waiting for the next season, but years down the road when we think about it, they'll be easily on there.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, Mike, number 2 on your list.
I got Scar from Lion King.
Oh man, love it, dude. Scar, wow.
Scar,
not Simba. How? Why?
Oh, Scar! Come on, dude. That song that Scar does is iconic. Jeremy Irons as the voice, and I just, man, you can't touch that. He's just such a good, like, weasel villain. Like, he's so weak. Like, he probably couldn't beat young Simba in a fight, let alone Mufasa, but he finds a way to, like, and then, with me and my brother, my brother's listening, being able to kill your brother, sometimes it's like, God, dude, if I could just throw that fat piece of shit off a mountain. No, I'm just kidding.
Holy cow.
No, me and Mitchell don't even fight. Me and Mitchell don't even fight. That's a total joke. He knows, like, he's best friend. That ain't even a thing. But man, to throw him off a mountain. Yeah.
Now,
I'm sure he's got the exact same thoughts about you, Mike.
No, we don't fight. I'm dead serious. He when we were very young, he kicked me in my penis one time and pinned it to a chair, and we never fought. There was not even a joke fight ever again. That was it. We didn't know. We have been best friends forever.
Getting kicked in the penis would do that, I imagine. All right, let's wrap this up. Mike, number 1 on your list.
Number 1, Genie from Aladdin. Robin Williams Genie.
Man.
That's the one. It cannot be topped. It's my favorite animated movie of all time, although there's some ones that are in that right there with it. And Will Smith did a damn good job trying to replace him. He killed it. But even at that, he doesn't even – Robin Williams is an untouchable legend.
Swear. Yeah, he really is. Here's Mitch Crum. He had a comment. He also he dreams of it, Mike. Love to see Mitch joining the
This
show,
is what you don't understand, and he'll tell you this is true. He dreams of me throwing him off the mountain. Tell them that's a fact, Mitchell. Not that he does it to me, that I do it to him. I promise you that's true.
Wow.
He's not all that well. He could go at any time, and he would be like, "I'm good, man. I'm ready."
Okay, Brenden, number one on your list, sir.
I don't know how to follow up that entire conversation that was just had, but you know what? we roll here. We roll. I said this last week, and I know everything verbatim. It's Patrick Star from SpongeBob. Oh my god, dude! Early seasons, well, even new stuff. I'll still laugh at his stuff every time we watch something or we're quote. I said my entire family can quote things, but every time it's a Patrick line, I'm the one who has to quote him because I know it by heart. He's so golden, such an idiot, but it never will not bring me laughing my ass off. It's so great. We watched it the other night because we were bored on Amazon, and it's just peak comedy.
When people call in to his thing, is this I can't remember the name of the shop.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
Yeah, and he's all, nope, this is Patrick.
Oh, dude, no, there's so many great lines. When in doubt, pinky out. Oh, dude, I could go for hours on this.
Mitchell would not hurt me, but he would allow me to throw him off a mountain. You saw the comment.
Yes, sir. Michael, I was surprised you didn't have any Toy Story characters in your top 5.
Woody was right there. Woody could have went above Doug, but I didn't have a pet, and I really love the movie Up. Is like the most emotional opening of a movie in the history of the world. And I love Doug. Like, we and Mitchell watched the little Doug short stories. Like, he's awesome. So I had to get him in there. But Woody was close. Woody's written down on my notes of a million notes of, see all the different friggin', look at all those.
Trying to trim down the list.
Woody. I hated this list. I'm going to hate next week's list even more.
Yeah. All right, here I am wrapping things up. My number 1 on my list, probably the funniest dad in all of animated series, Stan Marsh from South Park. Once they started giving him more of a lines and building his character, developing his character, I haven't laughed that hard in a long time, man. I miss watching South Park. I'm gonna have to watch an episode soon, but I love Stan Marsh, man. Me and Prescott, we've had a lot of long nights, a lot of laughing, just nonstop laughter because of Stan Marsh. So I went with my guy Stan Marsh.
The pill, when he takes that pill and he's shitting and puking and blood. Shit. Dude, I cannot. All right, let's see. We might as well end it seeing 13, 12, 10, 9. Denver's going for the win. Field goal. The kick is up. He missed it.
No, he didn't.
Wins.
Shut up.
Yeah, Buffalo won. And
oh my God, they got away with it.
Tested. Oh wait, a flag. 12 on Buffalo. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
So that means they get another kick. Let's see if he chokes it again. They've already missed 2 extra points, I believe.
My friend has sent me my best friend has sent me him in his fucking Denver jersey right now.
Let's see.
Mike, do you remember when you first saw the episode of Stan Marsh going on Wheel of Fortune trying to solve the puzzle?
Oh,
yes. God. Brilliant. The South Park writers are. I want to see Book
top
of Mormon,
tier, bro,
and they are brilliant. All right, I know we're over an hour. Let's see who wins, and then we'll cut out of here. Here, I'll give you guys this angle. I could even turn it.
Yes, Randy Marsh. I'm sorry, not.
And it's good.
I'm sorry, but Randy.
And it's good.
Look at Denver with the win.
Buffalo 3-game win streak.
You know what's funny is that Buffalo game that we were hoping that they could beat Eagles is not looking so great right now. But the worry for Dallas is we got to go to Buffalo and we don't play good in the cold. So that game is not looking wonderful for us now. Okay, sorry. Hour and 10 minutes.
No worries. It's a good way to end it, man, with a walk-off field goal by the Denver Broncos, man. Are the Buffalo Bills, are they starting to, I don't know, reach the overrated?
They lost too many guys on defense. And so Josh Allen becomes, when it's all about Josh Allen, he becomes a turnover machine. And he costs his team games. And then nobody talks about it. Barely. Like, they'll have one segment on one day of a show about it, and then it'll be like, oh, yeah, we talked about him. But it's not like Dak where they have to get the Cowboys in every single game.
Yeah.
Day.
Well, gentlemen, I enjoyed this episode as always. Mike, before we get you out of here, where can we find you on Twitter?
Letter C, letter D, Piglet, guys. Nice and easy. Sorry it ran long today.
No worries. Brenden, remind the people they can find you on Twitter.
They can find me at Brandin_Smith26.
Guys, I'm Paul Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at Paul_Ryan15. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you.
I'm no